So today we need to do a deep dive into the Get Ready to Sparkle announcement because, I mean, the dissonance here is just incredible right out of the gate.
Oh, absolutely.
We are looking at the official return of Magical Girl Raising Project
Mm.
with a brand new series called Restart.
Right, and on the surface, this press release is pushing this really bright, um, glittering aesthetic.
But anyone familiar with the 2016 original knows exactly what kind of brutal territory we are stepping back into here.
It is a complete study in contrast down to the timeline itself, actually. The original series aired in fall 2016,
Yeah.
and this sequel is slated for fall 2026. We are looking at a literal decade-long gap between the anime installments.
And usually, a 10-year hiatus is pretty much a death sentence for continuity, especially when you look at the production credits.
Yeah, the animation production is shifting.
Right, from Lerche, who handled the first season, over to SynergySP. And historically, a studio swap after that long signals a visual reset or maybe a drop in quality,
Right.
which is usually where I'd start getting skeptical.
It would worry me too, honestly, if the hiring list didn't look so deliberate. I mean, SynergySP might be managing the physical production, but they have effectively reassembled the original brain trust.
Exactly.
Hiroyuki Hashimoto is back in the director's chair. He's coming off his work as assistant director on Tugen Anki, by the way. And Takao Yoshioka is handling series composition again.
So the narrative soul of the show stays completely intact, even if the production desk moves. That continuity is just crucial for a series that relies so heavily on its tone.
It really is. And perhaps the most telling detail is the character designer.
Oh, Masako Ito, right.
Yes, but her role has actually expanded. She handled the super deformed chibi designs for the original series.
That really stuck out to me too, promoting the artist responsible for the absolute cutest elements of the first season to the main character designer role for Restart. It feels like a highly strategic move.
They aren't just keeping the aesthetic, they're doubling down on that hyper-soft, rounded look.
Which is basically the engine that drives the horror of this franchise.
You need that visual softness, that deceptive cuteness, to make the eventual brutality land with any impact. If the characters look gritty right from the start, the violence wouldn't feel so jarring.
It's the camouflage for the trap, basically. Because if you look at the premise outlined in the announcement, it is practically designed to lure you in.
It presents itself as this miraculous social game.
Yeah, where players have a 1 in 10,000 chance to become a real magical girl.
It plays perfectly into mobile gaming psychology. The Get Ready to Sparkle tagline suggests a dream come true, giving select players physical capabilities that far exceed human limits.
Well, until you meet the administrator anyway.
Right.
The sources highlight the return of Fav, the fairy administrator. And we know from the franchise's history that Fab is definitely not running a charity here.
No, this is a system designed for trimming.
That is the key term. The source material describes the world as exhilarating and dangerous. But let's be real, that is a massive understatement.
Fab decides the area has too many magical girls, and the genre just abruptly shifts from a raising project to a survival game.
It is a battle royale with a glitter filter. The announcement makes it clear there are 16 contenders.
And in a standard magical girl show, that is a massive team-up just waiting to happen.
But here the sources explicitly state this isn't about friendship. It is a ruthless fight for supremacy.
And that deconstruction is exactly why the original lingers in people's minds. It forces the viewer to reconcile those glittering preview images with the merciless rules of the game.
Right. We actually just got 4 of those preview images to build the hype, by the way.
Exactly. The magical element is really just the weapon set for the conflict.
So for those of you who want to see the origin of this mess, the 2016 series is currently streaming on Crunchyroll. But looking ahead to late 2026, the real question is whether this formula still holds up.
That is what I am wondering, too.
Yeah.
The source material asks if the new girls will rise to the occasion or fall victim to the rules. But consider this. In the 10 years since the original aired, the landscape of social gaming and digital interaction has changed drastically.
Oh, that is a really great point. A social game in 2016 is very different from one in 2026.
Right. So here is a provocative thought to leave you with. Will the merciless rules of Fav's game have evolved to reflect a decade of technological advancement in the real world? Or will history simply repeat itself in a new bloody cycle?
I guess we have until fall to speculate on those upgrades. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.